This image is a nightmare for hysteroscopic surgeon. Asherman, total obliteration with uterine cavity, zero cavity at hysterography. You don't know the situation inside, how much of the cavity is obliterated, if there is any hope or not. So join me and let's go together, enter the uterine cavity, explore the tips and tricks, how to deal with a hopeless case and bring light to the dark cavity. Now we are in the cervical canal. You see that the direction of the cervical canal is not straight, so you have to take a little bit left turn. If you keep pushing on that direction, you will create a false track. Please look again how I try to navigate, maneuver to find the direction. So the direction, a little bit to the left side. Yes, this is the internal os. So the start is very frustrating. There is no opening. There is no that black hole appearance to tell you the entrance of the cavity. The internal os is totally obliterated, and there is an evidence on a false track on the left side done by a previous surgeon. So here I bring to you a very nice and useful tip. Use the scissors as your dilators. Any attempt to do blind dilatation by metal Hager dilators, it will eventually end in a false track and perforation. So under vision, use the scissors to palpate, to touch, to probe. Again, this brownish color on the scissor is the betadine antiseptic. So you use the scissor as your tool to feel the tissues. Actually, in endoscopic surgery, you don't have the pleasure to touch the tissues by your hand. So what they call it experience, which developed by time, is that you can get the transmitted sensation from the instrument, from the scissor to your nerves and your hands and your muscles. So here I'm continuously using the scissor, open the blades to widen the opening, take a little snip cuts at 3 and 9 o'clock to allow insertion of the hysteroscope. Now let's push and go in. At this moment, you are like driving in the fog or driving in the darkness. So people ask me, Osama, how can we know that we are in the correct direction of pushing? It's all upon the feedback resistance to your hand. If you're going through the muscles, it's different than going through adhesions, different than going into normal track. So push slowly, get the feedback, and climb up on the proper direction using the fluid push and gentle push by your fingers. Yes, this is the most enjoyable moment when you go from the darkness to the light, when you go from the fog to the clear vision, and to know that you are in a near normal uterine cavity. So the story, my friend, that the whole obstruction was in the lower segment at the level of the internal os. That's why the hysterography contrast dye could not fill the cavity and give the gloomy, frustrating image of zero cavity. So you can share with me how these few moments can change the life of a patient, can change the diagnosis from hopeless to hopeful. After clearing the way, then I use the grasper to remove some of these shreds and enjoy the final view.